Well, yesterday I made a video about the Long Island Railroad schedules, and apparently there was a misprint, and the 634 is indeed running. The railroad confirmed. A viewer told me that there was a misprint, and sure enough, it is a misprint. It says the 634 train from Westbury is still running, so they are not getting rid of it. It's not being cut. It was a misprint in the schedule. And, I'm still going to criticize them because it's not right that you have misprints in the schedules. I mean, what are they becoming like Nice Bus now with the misprints in the schedules? So we'll look at the schedules. They say that they've restored it to the schedules. See if they did, or it's still missing from the schedules. See if it's. Yep, they fixed it. So it is back on the schedule. You can see it here. 634 train is back on the schedule right there. There it is. So it is back on the schedule. It was a misprint. 634 Penn Station from Westbury to Penn Station is still running, as well as the 814 from Hicksville. That another viewer pointed out that one was accidentally missing as well. So I'm glad those were restored, because to me it made no sense. They also never mentioned in the list of changes that they were going to make that change. So I'm glad to see that. There was another misprint. Let's see if they fix that misprint on the Montauk schedule, because I'm pretty sure it's a misprint as well with the 310. Now, that still hasn't been corrected yet, but let's see if that 324 is still there, because there's still another misprint on the schedules. Yep, you can see now. Here's the 324, the train that stops at Mineola 324 going toward Patchogue. Still listed on the Port Jefferson schedule. However, it's not listed on the Montauk schedule. So if we go look at the Montauk schedule, you see it won't be listed. So there is still a mistake here that needs to be corrected. I'm pretty sure it's a mistake. See, it's not showing up on here, but I'm pretty sure it's a mistake because the times on both ends are still the same. Still arriving at Babylon at 3:49. So I'm thinking that train is still going to stop in Mineola, even though it's not showing it on this schedule. It is showing it on the Port Jefferson schedule. So this is a brief video, just a correction. It's a mistake they made, but it's still not excusable that they're making so many mistakes on these schedules. They never used to make mistakes here. And you notice that there's another issue here with this train here. They have an AM here instead of a PM. So they need to correct that. They're just, these misprints are not something that should happen. They never used to happen on the schedules. Now they're happening. They're just like Nice Bus now with the misprints. We already see that with Nice Bus. I have a lot of misprints on their schedules. They've been that way since day one. I expect that kind of stuff from Transdev, but not from the MTA. So that's some good news in all this. So at least we won't be seeing those two trains cut from the main line, but there's still cuts that I don't appreciate or accept. And speaking of cuts, one other thing I want to address here, Nice Bus, beginning that we brought up Nice Bus, one thing you'll note here, the 22, they've actually cut service on the 22 a lot. I want to just go to we'll go to the PDF schedule and show you during the week. They had a, let's see, got to find the weekday schedule here. From Hicksville, you could see that, if you miss the 8:44, the next bus isn't for another hour, 9:44. So they have a big gap in service there. Although they still have half-hourly service out of Mineola, so they've cut service east of Mineola on the 22. This was made during the last schedule change, or the schedule change before that. But it's just, it just goes to show you what Nice Bus is doing. Obviously, now hourly service on that leg of the route. And I think the problem is you have a lot of crowding at Roosevelt Field. All right, it's not so much an issue from Hicksville, but we see how crowded those 24s get, and they still don't have enough service going out of Roosevelt Field at night going west. I figured I'd throw that in there. And then the last thing is this. Grand Central access is limited due to demonstrations again. So we have demonstrations in the city, probably pro-Palestinian protesters protesting Israel, even though Israel has every right to defend itself, and it has to go into Gaza. It has no choice but to go into Gaza because that's where Hamas is, and Hamas needs to be wiped out. So these people don't understand that, and now they're messing up. And expect intermittent closures of. No, this is interference with transportation. I don't think they should be allowed to block entrances and exits for public transportation. That should not be allowed. That's an arrestable offense right there. So you have that going on. But of course, the city, rewards all the criminals. We've seen that recently. You can look at my community posts and see all the things that are going on in the city where they reward the criminals. It's a criminal's paradise, and the law-abiding citizen is treated as the criminal instead. But anyway, that's all for this video. Good night.